visual idea. Knees are just gently bent. Feet are at shoulder width apart. Arms hanging down by the sides. We've just got a nice, relaxed shoulders. Sometimes we're not even aware of how we hold our shoulders. And so it's quite nice to sometimes just to lift your shoulders right up to your ears and then squeeze them towards the back and let them slowly relax down. And roll them to the front, lift them up and squeeze them right up to your ears in a totally sort of unnatural position. Push them right to the back and then let them relax down. And then sometimes you can just kind of jump your shoulders up and down a little bit. And you start to realize, how much tension you've had in the shoulders. And when you really feel what the downward position feels like, it can be quite a sort of a relief across the shoulders. So nice, relaxed shoulders, knees bent, back nice and straight, gently looking forwards. Perhaps our eyes are slightly closed. And then we're going to make our usual warm-up exercises, starting from the very, very belly, deep inside the core. And so we just start by gently turning, just looking over one shoulder, see how the back feels. Then do the same on the other side, gently see how the back feels. It's just a good way to check up and see if there's any kind of warning signs, any kind of worries about anything that might not be quite working yet. And then we can release the back. Okay, I think we can take this exercise and just slow it down a little bit. And then we're going to open it out slightly, so stretch longer. So now we use the neck to turn the whole of the spine. Look back over the shoulder, really let the spine open up. Okay, so just a few more long opening stretches. Really let the spine open out. Good, and then let the whole thing slowly subside. So there's no need to hurry to a stop. Just gently, slowly, bit by bit, everything stops. Okay, let's gather. So hands go deep in the earth, gently lift chi up, and gently pour chi down. Gathering. And pouring. Once more. Imagine moving the chi from your head down all the way through your body, deep inside. And the chi flow down your legs and connect into the earth. Okay, so we're going to continue with some forward and back bends. Just lift up again, just lift the hands up into the air, stretch up into the blue sky. And then with the arms beside the ears, we gently tip over the top of the spine. Then we roll into the back, we roll into the middle back, and roll into the lower back, and just let the body hang down. Take all the pressure off the back of the neck, let the knees be soft, let the body just gently hang. Okay, great. So we just extend softly down towards our toes and release that bend. Imagining a line between the roots of our toes, gently bend toward that and release. Imagining a line between our insteps, gently bend towards that and release. And a line between our heels. As you can see, each bend just takes us slightly deeper. And release. Let the body just hang and relax. So we lift the tailbone to point up into the blue sky behind us. And then we push the tailbone toward the front of the body and start to slowly roll the spine up. And then we take up the head and the arms and the ears. And we gently stretch up into the blue sky. Softly release the knees and hips to move forward, and you can lean back. Stretching up and gently leaning back. Stretching up, gently back. Stretching up and gently back. Great, and then we're going to do some side bends. So we take our left arm down, let the right side of the body gently arc open. Right arm down, gently opening up the left. Down the left-hand side. And down on the right-hand side. Good. Draw hands up into the blue sky. So that's the whole thing. We're just going to run through that set again. Arms and ears, they're not pressed together, but they just go over at the same speed, which bends the nape of our neck. And then we go into the upper back, middle back, lower back, and the body gently hangs down. Take all the pressure from the back of the neck. Let the body just relax and hang. Very good. So we extend softly down toward the toes. And we release. In line with the roots of our toes. And we release. Working towards the insteps. We release. Working towards the heels.
and release. Body hangs and relaxes. Lift tailbone up behind. Push tailbone to the front. Start to roll the spine up. Head, arms, and ears gently roll up. Stretching up into the blue sky. Good long stretch. Releasing knees and hips forward, gently leaning back. Up. Gently back. Up. Gently back. Up. And gently back. Great. Side bends, so let the left-hand side of the body curl down, the right side of the body gently open. Down on the right side. Allow the left to gently open. On the left. And on the right. Hands up into the blue sky. So we can do the same exercises, but perhaps try and do it with straight legs now. Just gives an extra hamstring stretch. So keep the knees locked back. The head and the arms tip over on their own. And we go into the upper back, middle back, lower back. Let the body sink and relax down. Back of the neck, nice and soft and relaxed. Tummy tucked in a little bit, legs straight, weight slightly forward onto the toes. Okay, so we make our first extension gently down toward the toes. And then we release. In line with the roots of our toes. And release. Toward the insteps. And release. Toward the heels. Deep bend. And relax and release. Body hangs. Tailbone gently lifts behind. Tailbone pushes toward the front of the body. Start to roll the spine up, and we gently take up the head, the arms, the ears, and stretch slowly up into the blue sky. Release the knees and the hips forward, and you can gently lean back, up, and back, up, and back, up, and back. Great. Let's do our side bends. Left hand arcs down. Right hand opens up. Right hand down. Left hand opens up. Down the left. And down on the right. Good. Draw hands up into the blue sky. Last time through the process. So again, we're going to keep legs straight if we possibly can. Lock legs straight, head, arms, and ears. Upper back, middle back, lower back. Body hangs and relaxes. Back of the neck soft, tummy tucked. First extension takes us down toward the toes. And then release. In line with the roots of our toes. And release. Toward our insteps. And release. Head back toward the heels. Relax and release, body hang. Tailbone lifts up behind. Tailbone pushes to the front. Spine starts to roll up. Arms into ears gather up. Slowly stretching up into the blue sky. Drifting knees and hips softly forward, and you can lean the arms, upper body back, up, and gently back, up, and gently back, up, gently back.
Okay, hands up into the blue sky. Left hand curls down. Right side of the body gently open. Right hand curls down. Left side of the body gently opens. Down the left side. And down on the right side. Okay, draw hands up into the blue sky. Just release the hands softly down the sides of the body. Lowering the hands slowly allows the chi to go back down in the body. Settles and calms the chi. And we can settle and calm the chi further just by lifting and gathering. Gently pouring. Focusing all of the chi deep into the belly. Then let the chi flow down the legs back into the ground. Gather again, lift up. And gently pour. Drawing the chi down. Moving the energy deep inside. Focusing the chi deep into the belly. Let's gather again. Lift chi up. Pour chi down. Pouring the chi out, down, deep inside. Drawing the chi deep into the core of you, where we settle the chi in the belly. And then let the hands just go down, pouring chi along the legs. One more time. This time we can gather the chi to the belly. Pouring the chi down. Bring the chi, settle the chi deep inside the core of the belly. Let's just put the hands on the belly and hold the chi there, deep inside. Lower dantian chi is abundant, blood and chi flowing well. As we stand here, just bring all of the focus onto lower dantian. So lower dantian sits behind your belly button, deep in the core of your body. This is an energy field where the bulk of the excess chi in your body is stored. It's like a huge reservoir of energy. We can hold this chi in lower dantian. When we put our mind there, the chi starts to gather. So this is this Chinese principle, yi dao, qi dao, where the mind goes, the chi follows. And so we're just allowing the chi to go deep inside. Feeling the chi deep inside. Lower dantian chi is abundant. Blood and chi flow well. Energy moves around the body with ease. This vast reservoir of chi supplies chi deep inside our legs, deep inside torso, in our arms and our head. This abundance of energy. Let's allow the hands to hang gently down by the sides for a few moments. If you feel so inclined, you can hold up chi in front of your belly. Ball's about the size of a football, just in front of the belly button. So any kind of variant with the hands is fine. Sometimes people just let the hands hang down just in front of their thighs or just beside their thighs. It's called the gunfighter stance. You can lift up and hold a ball of chi in front of your belly. The middle finger's level with the belly button. We try and keep our knees softly bent, just a little bit unlocked. The tailbone drops down towards the floor, so we have this sitting down sensation. The tailbone, if anything, just tips slightly forwards. When you make that tiny little movement to the tailbone forwards, you feel your lower back just straighten up a tiny bit. It's not a huge movement, it's just a centimeter or so. So we have the tailbone drawing down, tailbone inclined gently forwards. Between the legs is an acupuncture point called Hoyin. The instruction there is lift Hoyin. So you'll often hear people say, lift Bai Hui, lift Hoyin. So Bai Hui is on the top of your head, very crown of your head, and Hoyin is between your legs. So it sort of seems like a bit of a strange idea. Lift Hoyin between your legs and lift Bai Hui on top of the head. But we imagine a line that connects the two of them. A line through the center of your body. So imagine there between the legs up into the energy center behind your belly button. It's called lower dantian. Coming up into the energy center behind your breastbone. It's called the middle dantian. Coming up the throat into the energy center in the center of your head, called upper dantian. Coming all the way up to the acupuncture point on top of the head, Bai Hui. So when you imagine Bai Hui lifting, you can imagine Hoyin lifting as well. It's almost like there's a plumb line through the center of your body, and as you lift one, the other one lifts. So lift Bai Hui, lift Hoyin. So we have this core central path through us called the Tai Yi pole. Just imagine this core through the center of you. From Hoyin between your legs to Bai Hui on top of your head. And studded along this kind of passageway, or this pathway, I suppose better, is this idea of lower dantian energy center. So a big ball of chi just behind the belly button. And the center of your chest, a ball of chi behind the breastbone. And the center of your head, a ball of chi. And then this connecting pathway. I was once meditating on the idea of this central channel. Some people call it the Tai Yi pole. Tai Yi pole, I think, gives the idea of the ridge pole that holds your tent up. It's a kind of like a center pole. And so we have this idea of the center pole that goes through us. In my meditations, I was imagining this pathway through from Hoyin between the legs up to Bai Hui at the top of the head with the three dantians. And suddenly it illuminated like a strip light. You can imagine those lights that we have overhead, the long, thin poles of light, all the way up through the center of your body, with the three dantians, it piercing through the middle of the three dantians, and that they illuminated as well. So I had this lovely, long, straight line of chi with the three illuminate balls of energy. So imagine this chi structure in the core of your body. Energy flowing up and down. As we stand here, we're just going to think about other structures in the body as well. So how do we fill these dantians? How do we gather energy? Well, this posture we're in, the standing posture, is the energy gathering posture. It's fine to sit, that's no problem as well. But the standing posture is probably the most potent, as it were. You can do it sitting, as I say. You could do it lying down if you wish. But certainly standing is one of the best ways. We try and have our heels slightly pushed out to the sides, a little bit wider than the toes. And then as we sink down into the toes, you just feel this weight shift to the front of the foot. So I always try and describe where we're going to find the energy point on the base of the foot. You have to move along from the tip of your middle toe to the root of that toe, and then move along over the kind of bump, which is the ball of your foot. And just as you come down the other side of the bump towards the center of your foot, you find Yongquan, the kidney point. So it's about a third of the way from the toe toward the center of the point, towards the center of the foot, on the midline. Quite difficult to describe. But the point is that as you soften into your knees, you feel the weight transfer to this point. It's called Yongquan, the kidney point. Yongquan translates as bubbling wellspring. The bubbling wellspring of life is its full grand title. So though I once visited a garden center, and there was a little ornament there, and it was a sort of a round stone which had a hole through the center of it, and water was bubbling up through the center of the stone, and a little sort of fountain coming up through this beautiful round stone and then splashing back down. And I kind of feel that that's a good illustration for Yongquan, the kidney point, because the energy from the earth kind of bubbles up like a spring up through the soles of your feet. So just imagine this energy bubbling up from the earth below through the Yongquan point on the kidney point on the sole of your foot. When you bend your knees, you really kind of press that kidney point. You can feel it really, really contacted with the floor. So this is the earth energy gently bubbling in. Imagine that energy can travel through the center of your foot to the center of your ankle. Imagine that it comes up the center of your lower leg, the center of your knee, the center of your upper leg, and it comes all the way to Hoi Yin, this acupuncture point between the legs. Now you can get the idea why we lift Hoi Yin up, because it kind of encourages a motion upwards from Hoi Yin into this energy field behind the belly button. So here are all the kind of ideas about why we stand and why we bend our knees and why we flare our heels out to the side. Because what we're doing is we're really encouraging that flow of qi. We're standing on Yongquan, it really opens up and the qi can flow easily up. Flow of qi, the qi flows much more easily through a bent joint rather than a straight joint. So if your knees are locked, the qi doesn't flow so well. When you soften your knees, all the qi flows through it much more easily. So now it's bubbling up through the sole of the foot, coming up through the ankle, up through the center of the legs, up to Hoi Yin between the legs, and then it moves up into lower Dantian. So lower Dantian is the gathering point for this wonderful energy coming up from below. What about above, on top of the head? So I could describe to you how to find the kidney point, the Bahui. It's called the 100 meeting point on top of the head. Bahui, if you were to run a line up your jaw just in front of your ears and let your fingers join on top of your head, and then just move forward a couple of fingers, you'd be pressing Bahui on top of the head. So the standing posture also aids Bahui. One of the instructions is sink the tailbone down and lift Bahui up. And what happens there is that we get a nice straight spine when we do that. So we can imagine the tailbone drawing down to the earth. We can also imagine the top of the head pushing up into the blue sky. And both of those facilitate this lovely line of energy through the center of the body, the Tai Yi pole. They keep it nice and straight. And at the top, Bai Hui is pushing up into the blue sky. So there's stories about the teacher known as Lao Tzu. Lao Tzu was apparently such a developed soul that when you looked at him, you could actually see a dimple on top of his head where his Bai Hui point was. It was almost like his own personal collecting dish of qi on top of his skull, with the energy pouring down on top of him from the heavens above onto his Bai Hui point, and then coming down from Bai Hui into the center of the head, where there's another collecting pond of qi called upper dantian, the upper energy field. So we can imagine this qi pouring down into the upper energy field, and then it continues down the Tai Yi pole into the central field behind the breastbone, middle dantian. And eventually the qi will pour down into the main collecting pool, lower dantian. So heaven energy from the blue sky above, pouring down to Bai Hui, pouring down through the center of the body and arriving deep in the belly. Energy from the earth coming up, energy from the heavens pouring down, mixing deep inside the belly, this fantastic, perfect balance of yin and yang qi. But there's yet another possibility, the arms. So we have our hands gently in front of the belly, or wherever they happen to be, it doesn't really matter. But in the center of your palm is a really potent point, Lao Gung. And so if you were to bend your middle finger over to try to touch the center of your palm, you're pretty much touching Lao Gung, the energy point on the center of your hand. Of course, there's one on each hand. And in fact, it goes all the way through and mirrors on the back of the hand too. So you have Lao Gung on the back and the front of the hand. So here we are with this wonderful energy point on the hands. It's gathering in qi from around you, gathering in qi from your workspace, your room, but also from outside, the trees and the rocks, the mountains and the rivers, gathering qi in from nature. So our hands just gather in this wonderful energy. We imagine it comes into Lao Gung, the center of the palm, and then the energy moves along to the center of the wrist, along the center of the forearm, moving to the center of the elbow, gently moving up the center of the upper arm, and it comes all the way up onto the top of your shoulder. So if you can just imagine a point that sits halfway between the tip of your shoulder and the middle of your spine. If you were to run a line along the length of your shoulder, you remember there's a kind of sort of dip there on your shoulder. It's much more prevalent when we're younger. Sometimes you sort of see children who have these hollows on their shoulders. I think it sort of fills out as you become more adult, less prominent. Muscles develop and so forth. But we have these things that are referred to as the shoulder well. It's kind of like a well, as in a water well, sitting on the top of your shoulder. You can imagine all this qi flowing up the arms, drawing its way up to this acupuncture point on top of your shoulders. And then it pours down from that point to the middle dantian, comes right down into the middle of your chest, behind the breastbone, and it pours down to the belly to join with the rest of this energy. So this point on top of the shoulders is called Jianjing. So imagine drawing qi from the center of your hands, up the center of your arms, up to the shoulder well, Jianjing, and then from the shoulder well, allow it to pour down into middle dantian, and then the stream pours down into lower dantian. So now the whole of your body, all of the major channels, are gathering qi deep inside. An abundance of energy. But there's more than that. Every breath you take draws qi into your body. And of course, we also gather qi from every piece of food that we eat as well. Not now, obviously, but every gentle in-breath, drawing a breath in through your nostrils, Every breath out, you can imagine the chi just pours down into your belly. You can also calm your mind using this technique. Gently breathe in through your nose. Imagine that your whole brain illuminates as you do so. And as you breathe out, imagine the chi goes down the tiny pole, deep into your belly. A gentle breath in draws chi in. A gentle breath out allows the chi to pour down. Just take a couple more gentle, intentional breaths. Pour the chi deep into your belly. Mind deep in your belly. Of course, your breath knows how to do this completely naturally, so we don't have to focus on it. But it's a good way if the mind strays off, just to breathe gently in, gently corral the mind back deep inside the belly, where all this chi is gathering. So you have this little technique just to draw yourself back if you wander away. So the breath is always gathering chi. But also our pores on our skin work with our breath. So each time you breathe, your pores gently open. And each time you exhale, chi can flow out of the pores. So we can gather chi in through the pores, and we can allow chi to escape from the pores. So why would we want chi to escape? Well, there's this idea, I mean, people often say that, there's bad chi in your body, negative chi. Bin chi is one of the titles. I don't actually believe there's ever bad chi in your body. There's just chi that's got a bit blocked, chi that's just not particularly appropriate for your state at this very moment. And so when we think about drawing healing chi into our bodies with a breath, we think about allowing chi that's spent, that's been used up, that's ready for recycling back out into the world. And so that breath out lets chi escape, but also chi moves in and out through the pores, and any chi that's not required can escape. And just to add a little bit of confusion, all of this channels through the feet, through the top of the head, through the hands. Chi can flow out through those as well as in. So the whole body can gently exchange chi with the outside world and gather chi from the inside world. We have these primary paths where chi can gather and flow in, but also the chi can flow out as well. So you let your body relax. You allow the chi to flow easily. The more healthy chi we pour into our body, the less our body can have problems. So you may wish to sit or stand. We're going to do a little bit of La Chi. So the whole body, this beautiful, relaxed posture. Our mind has started to settle down. It doesn't really matter whether you're standing or sitting. What's more important is the power of your mind. We can visualize this beautiful chi flowing in and out of our body, connected to the earth, connected to the heavens. Let the body relax and let the mind gently soften and quieten. We start to see that there's no difference between the inside and the outside of our bodies. We can feel that we have to connect out or that we have to kind of connect in. But the truth is the body automatically does this. when you start to realize that there's really no difference between the chi inside you and the chi outside you, then it starts to change the way we think about ourselves and think about the world around us. Just imagine yourself deeply connected with everything around you. Just imagine that everything around you can feed chi to you. So earlier I mentioned the earth chi below, which is known as yin chi, and the heaven chi above, which is known as yang chi, that perfect pairing of yin and yang. But actually, Dr. Pan goes way beyond that. He says, even beyond yin and yang, there's just Hunyuan Qi. Everything is Hunyuan Qi. It's the basic building block of the entirety of our universe. So it makes life much more simple from a Chinese medicine perspective. We don't suddenly have to think about yin qi or yang qi or different types of organ qi. We just think about Hunyuan Qi, the most basic, primeval building block of the entire universe. And if you're imagining that our entire universe is made of this beautiful Hunyuan Qi, then all that's required is for us to gently draw Hunyuan Qi into our bodies, and anything that's needing to be fixed can be fixed instantly. So this wonderful entirety chi covers all bases, becomes everything that our body requires. So let's just think about healing our body. We have this very simple idea in Shineng Qigong that when you move your hands apart, you can let the body dissolve. When you bring your hands back together again, you can gather amazing Hunyuan Qi into your body. So we can be very specific. You might wish to work on your left knee very specifically because you've got a pulled ACL. Or you might just think the entirety of my body. I can let the whole thing dissolve out into the chi field. And I can bring back amazing healing energy wherever it's needed. So however you wish to use your La Qi, it can be very, very specific and very, very scientific if you require, or it can be massively generalized, just very easy, relaxing, and open. So let's just go through some generalized ideas of healing. Let's first of all think about our brain. And of course, there's also many worries these days about Alzheimer's and dementia and things like that, that we can just imagine opening our brain. And when we do so, it just opens all the channels in the brain that sometimes get furred up. It opens all the blood flow in the brain. And we bring our hands back together again. All of that is perfect and repaired and working well. We can let go of all of the functions by opening the hands. Just let the whole brain dissolve in every single way. And when we bring the hands back together again, you can imagine your brain, perfect working order, clean, clear, clarity, everything working well, powerful, strong, rebuilding. So we have this Western science myth that's gone on for the last 30, 40 years that says that when your brain cells are gone, they're gone. But we discover actually now that's not true at all. Your brain is constantly regenerating itself. We often worry about forgetting things, but the truth is that the brain breaks down unused pathways and rebuilds new ones with it. So there's a constant turnover of information in the brain. So if you find you've lost something from the past, don't panic. You can always learn something new to replace it. So let's think of our brains in a more friendly way. Let's think of our brains as being happy places where everything is working well. So when we open our hands, we say the Chinese word kai. And kai means dissolve, let go, open up. And then when we draw our hands together, we say he. And he is the Chinese word for bring back, for gather, for draw in, for close. So let's do open and close for our brain for a few times, just saying Kai and her. Kai opens the brain. Her gently draws chi back inside. Dissolve all blockages in the brain. Let's just think about all the sensory organs in the head. Your eyes and your nose, your olfactory nerves, everything that makes you smell, your tongue and your taste, your ears and the whole hearing system. And the balance system as well with the ears. Let's just imagine everything in our sensory organs gently dissolving. And bring back perfect working order to the sensory organs. Letting go of all problems associated with our sensory organs. We bring back perfect working sensory organs. A few more times. Dissolves all problems. Bring healing chi deep inside our sensory organs. Let's just move the sort of two hemispheres of our brain. We've worked with our brain, but deep inside the middle of the two hemispheres, the part called the medulla oblongata, key where everything joins and the brainstem comes down. So think about the brainstem coming down through your neck, coming down your spine, heading all the way down your tailbone. So this is the nervous system. We have all of these nerves coming down, joining into our sensory organs and into the brain. We also have coming down into the neck and then down into the thoracic vertebra, where it kind of radiates out into your lungs and your heart, radiates out into your kidneys, into your spleen and your liver. And then we have it radiating out down your arms to your fingertips, radiating down all the way out into your legs and down to your feet. And of course, radiating out from the spine all through the body and all of the major organs. So we have this incredible system that connects everything together, sending electric impulses, electronic, electromagnetic, whatever exactly, out into all parts of the body. And of course, we worry about sort of things like Parkinson's and tremors and things like that, that become part of the electronic system through the body, multiple sclerosis,
MS, ME, so forth. Things that science is not very good at particularly working with, but we can work with really well in Chineng Qigong. So think about your beautiful nervous system radiating out through the whole of your body. And we can let the whole thing dissolve into the chi field as we open our hands up. And of course, we can bring back perfect healing energy to every aspect of that system when we bring our hands together. So Kai opens and dissolves. And then we bring back amazing healing energy into our systems. Every aspect of the healing system working well. Letting go of all problems at the deepest level. We bring incredible healing back into the nervous system. Every nerve alive, well, working well, connecting well, the whole system communicating well. Let's go again. Dissolve, dissolve all problems. Bring back complete healing to your nervous system. Everything working well. A couple more times. Feel complete healing throughout the entire nervous system. So there's another crucial system in our body, endocrine system. The pineal gland in your brain, the pituitary gland in your brain, thyroid, parathyroid deep in your throat, thymus in your chest, behind the breastbone, down into the adrenal glands for your kidneys, to the sexual organs, everything, or testes and ovaries to be specific. Everything in this system is about chemical messengers going around our body, keeping the messages right, keeping the messages straight in our body, keeping them balanced, keeping the correct messages flowing in our body. So we think about this endocrine system, this beautiful system deep inside from our brain all the way down through our body. And we can just let that whole system gently dissolve back into the chi field, letting go at the deepest level and drawing back amazing healing chi into the brain, filling your thyroid, parathyroid, filling your thymus, filling your adrenal glands, filling the sexual organs. We can just feel this incredible system dissolve as we open our hands. As we bring our hands back, we bring healing deep inside. Pituitary, pineal, thyroid, thymus, adrenal glands, sexual organs. Gently dissolving. Gently healing. All problems dissolve.
endocrine system working well. One more time. So now we think about the specific organs, the 5 main organs in our body. This time of year, let's think about the spleen first. Spleen is the late summer element. Sits on the left side of the body, just underneath the ribs. Spleen is all about food and processing and digestive system, but it's also about worry. So if you're someone who worries a lot, your spleen, or if you're someone who overthinks a lot, it's about the spleen. So just at this time of year, it's about sweetness, about sugar. Let's just imagine the spleen can gently dissolve. We bring back healing energy deep inside. So our spleen is paired with the stomach, but also, spleen, pancreas, stomach, and therefore probably the whole of the digestive system is kind of tied up with this idea. So let's just gently dissolve. All problems dissolve. We bring healing deep inside. Let go at the deepest level. Receive healing into the digestive system, spleen and stomach, pancreas. Deep inside, deep inside. Okay, so we feel our digestive system, spleen, pancreas working well, all functions returning to perfect working order. And then let's move on to lungs, which are the autumn system. Lungs all about breathing, all about taking oxygen in, but also all about letting go of things that are not needed in the body. Obviously, from a carbon dioxide perspective, but also the lung holds a lot of emotions: sadness, shame, sorrow, guilt, grief. We can let them all go. So imagine just letting your lungs gently dissolve. And drawing back a great healing for your lungs. Letting go of grief, guilt, sadness, shame, sorrow. Heal your lungs. Coincidentally, your lungs are also paired with the large intestine. Strange, deep in the belly. But sometimes we say we've got a gut feeling about things. I think this emanates from deep inside the large intestine. So the lungs and large intestine are paired partners. So when we let go of all these problems, we help our digestive system yet again. Let's just do the lungs, large intestine a few more times. Releasing, relaxing. Last time. So now we move from autumn into winter, and that would be the kidney element. So kidney is water. The kidneys sit in the lower back, just below our ribs. We can imagine opening the hands and letting the kidneys dissolve. When we bring the hands together, we bring healing to the kidneys. So clearly the kidneys are all about our urinary system, but also interestingly about the sexual system as well. So when we heal our kidneys, we're healing our urinary system, also the bladder, of course, healing the sexual systems as well. So Kai lets all of that dissolve. And her brings healing energy deep into the kidneys and the bladder. About the emotions associated with kidneys and bladder. The basic emotion is fear. Fear is at the bottom of everything. Fear is the base instinct. Fear is the real, deep, dark night of the soul. So if we can let go of our fear, everything in our body starts to change. So release kidney fear. Releases fear at the deepest level. So feel your kidneys strong, working well. When we change from kidneys, we move from winter into springtime, and that's the time for the liver. So liver sits on the right-hand side, just underneath your ribs. We can imagine our liver being healed. Along with the liver is the gallbladder. So just imagine all problems with the liver, with the blood and gallbladder, with there's an aspect of digestion there as well. Dissolve. Heal energy flows deep inside the liver. Jealousy is the liver's emotion. Envy is the liver's emotion. Letting go, letting go, letting go. The main emotion is anger. Letting go of all anger, all jealousy, all envy. Brings healing chi deep inside the liver and gallbladder. Releases all anger. brings healing chi deep inside. Calm. Let go, let go. Healing chi goes deep inside. Calm. Last time for the liver. We draw healing chi deep inside the liver and gallbladder. All anger is released. All envy. All jealousy gone. So the final one of the 5 organs is the heart. Heart is the summertime element. We've just moved out of summertime into late summer, which was the spleen. Heart deep inside the center of your chest. Heart is all about love, unsurprisingly. It also has a slightly more surprising small intestine connection as well, but also the pericardium muscle around the heart. So, of course, when we dissolve the heart, we're thinking about heart function, all the problems we might have with the heart, clogged up in the arteries and all the blood flow around the body. We're also thinking about the muscle of the heart, also thinking about that aspect, small intestine. Sometimes you can have fire in your small intestine, fire in your belly almost. So the love aspect of heart is what we wish to encourage. And of course, behind that is things like indifference, hatred. We want to get rid of all of those ideas. So let's just heal our hearts now. Open the heart up. We say, Kai. We draw healing chi inside the heart. Opens up, dissolves, let go. Draw chi deep inside your body to heal. Let go, let go, let go. Fill your heart with healing chi. One more time. So feel your heart in perfect working order. Love spreading through your body and your life. All hatred dissolves. So finally, having worked on all these systems in our body and all these organs in our body, there's things like, the muscles and the cells and the bones. That might be very pertinent to you. And so let's just think about the whole body. You could be very specific if you wish. You could imagine one little cell just dissolving. When it comes back, that perfect kind of sample cell replicates itself through the whole of your body. Or perhaps you could just think of the whole body as one, just gently opening the whole body and releasing and bringing back perfect balance chi deep inside the body. Or perhaps just the bones or just the muscles, whatever you wish to work with. Let's make this final round of Lai Chi just kind of work for everything in the whole body. So dissolve the body by saying Kai. Ka. Gather healing chi deep inside. Every aspect of the body working, every aspect of your life working well. Letting go, just realizing that everything is exactly how it should be. Bringing a new healing energy to help you gently move forward. Move forward to heal, move forward to feel better, to be better. Kai disentangles all the problems of our life, disentangles all the challenges of our body, lets everything dissolve into the background chi of the universe. Her rearranges everything into its right place. Her brings you back into a perfect healing. Her brings back everything and organizes everything. Feel the body open and dissolve. Body rebuilt from perfect chi, all functions working well. Just a couple more times, slightly more quietly. The last two times, just moving the hands without sound, perhaps just using the breath. So now we can place our hands on our belly button, just feeling deep inside, just imagining every aspect of the body working well. Qi abundant in lower dantian. Blood and qi flows well through every aspect of your body. All functions of your body returning to perfect working order. All functions of your body, perfect working order. All functions of your body, normal. All functions normal. Let's just turn the hands round lower dantian. Circle round 3 times. And as we circle around lower dantian, it just brings all of our attention to the belly, just brings us deep inside, just gathers core energy deep inside your body. And then when we go 3 circles in the opposite direction, it just allows all of the chi to gather and store and be held. It kind of resets the body as well, brings you back into daily mode. Just to remind you to sort of come back into your body. We've been dissolving out into the universe, but now we have to come back into our daily lives. So we draw ourselves back and we start to feel our legs and feel our arms, feel our head and neck, feel our body and chest, feel the whole of our spine. And just realize that we've come back into our body. But just know that everything in the body has been set in healing motion. Everything in your body has been given notice. It's time to heal. Nothing you can do can stop that. The body automatically heals in the background. All of the functions of your body slowly return to perfect working order. And be honest, sometimes the healing journey takes a little bit longer. And that's fine, because every step you take takes you towards it. So every day you move Could be a tiny increment forward, could be a huge leap forward. But just know that you're moving forward with your Qigong, with your healing visualization, driving the body forward towards healing. All functions returning to perfect working order. All functions of your body normal. Just think about that. Not the old normal, the new normal. Everything working well. So now we can put a big smile on our face. As we sit here, we imagine our Wei Qi layer. So that's like a protective shield around your skin. Envelops your entire body. A sort of inch, 2 centimeters of Qi around your skin. Protective field of energy. And then we imagine our Qi body. And that's a meter above us, a meter below us, left, right, front and back. A big sort of bubble of Qi around the body. Protects us, but also connects us into the outside world. So as you sit here, you can imagine yourself a being of light inside these shields of energy. Every cell in your body working well. Every cell in your body returning to perfect working order. All functions of your body normal. All functions normal. Slowly open your eyes. You can start to just move your fingers, wiggle the fingers, move the body. Stand up, sit down, doesn't matter. And so we're going to say Haola together. Just Haola means good already. Haola means everything in the body is working well. Haola means everything that we've worked on returns to perfect working order. Haola. Okay, so hands up in the air. 1, 2.
Haola.
La.
Schnell.
1, 2. Ha.
Haola.
1, 2. Ha.
Haola.
Ah. We have a little salute for each other. So we take the right hand and bring it up, left hand on top, pull the fingers together, and then the thumbs sit on either end. This is our Zheneng Qigong salute. Oh, thank you very much for being here today. And as I always ask, perhaps we could just ask everybody to spread this around the world. Sometimes we have 300 or 400 people watching this meditation. So thank you to all of you people watching as well. And please share it amongst your friends and have a lovely day.